What's the deal with coffins? Coffins, other than college textbooks, are the only things that you buy with the expectation that you'll die soon. Now, despite me only using the word coffin, there's actually a difference between it and caskets. You see, caskets are rebranded coffins that are named after jewelry boxes to make more money. That's not a corpse, but a treasure being buried. Well, be sure not to mark the location where the treasure is at. Oh no, pirates! Coffins were made to save money. Well, caskets are square-shaped, but what if we only made it wide around the shoulder area so that we could save money? I mean, what do they need the extra legroom for? Many groups have unique coffins, such as traditional Jewish coffins. In order to return to Earth after death, they're made almost entirely out of wood. No metal, no nails, they even have holes at the bottom of them. They're cheap. I'm more surprised they don't say, let's take a little bit off the top. I want to be able to see their head. In Ghana, it's tradition to have custom coffins that represent the deceased person's personality or profession, since they believe that in the afterlife, life continues on the same way as it did on Earth. That's some crappy DLC. Man, can't wait to be an elementary school teacher again. Where are the kids? In the Philippines, they have hanging coffins on the cliffs of Sagada as a tourist attraction. In Japan, they have the same thing without the coffins. The best part is, they make the elderly carve their own coffins. The coffin isn't the only thing with a due date. Japan used ceramic jars for burials. That sucks. Hard to believe that they lived their whole life just to end up back where they started, the fetal position. Their life really came full circle. Everyone knows Viking funerals. Those weren't real. You think someone shot a flaming arrow at a boat like it's a carnival game? In reality, only high-ranking Vikings got a burial, but what they did was they would bury them with the boat. The guy that got buried in the ceramic jar is not gonna be happy when he hears about this. Many people call me poor, but I'm environmentally conscious. When archaeologists dig up my corpse, they're gonna say, wow, he was clearly put in a biodegradable coffin. Back in the good old days, we used to just throw bodies in a hole and call it a day, but Stalin ruined it for the rest of us, so now we have to get burial insurance, at least in America. Getting burial insurance is a lot like gambling with your life on the line. Literally, let's say that a burial cost $8,000, but you want to get the Fortnite Battle Royale casket, so it costs 10,000 V-Bucks. The average burial insurance cost is around $60 per month, so if you live longer than 14 years after getting it, you might want to head to Switzerland to check out their coffins. The best time to get burial insurance is 1 week before you die, which, luckily, many people's spouses manage to see into the future to do this. Love isn't dead. Their love is, so is their love. But the house always wins. Insurance companies will increase their prices based on how unhealthy a person is. This is like a buffet charging based on someone's weight. Both of these ideas would only work in America. I get not wanting to throw a dead body into a hole at the funeral. That might take away from the emotional moment, but I'm not rich. So I went on a search to find a cheap coffin, which led me to where all broke people seek happiness: eBay. Here I found a pre-owned coffin. What, was it Jesus's coffin? Is it buoyant too? But let's say I pay for my dad's coffin. After he's done decomposing, can I remove his dust and reuse it? I paid for it after all. I'll even call it a family heirloom. I get if a child dies putting Paw Patrol on their coffin, but I've seen stupid things like a stretched out iPhone on one. Maybe that's just the new iCoffin, the new iCoffin Pro Max for those who are plus sized, land not included. Who am I kidding? That's why they invented cremation. Funnily enough, there are coffins made specifically for cremation called rental coffins, where after the funeral service, they take the coffin back. This is like renting a tuxedo for prom, promising to have someone's daughter back by 9, sleeping in a frequently used Airbnb, then returning everything back the next day, then being incinerated. But it does decrease the price from $5,000 to $1,000, and if you feel bad, you could always hit the classic, "It's what he would have wanted, cheap bitch." I can still hear him now. There are specific salesmen for coffins that will come up to you talking about some lumbar support or velvet lining. I don't know if you know this, but he's currently burning in hell. I'm not sure if long-term comfort is in his future. If it is customizable, let me base it off how they live their life. If they were a workaholic, put a picture of their kid's baseball game that they missed. If they were a procrastinator, leave it empty. And if they were a narcissist, put them in it. But the truth is, I don't care about the interior. It's like dating with money. The outside appearance is the only thing that matters. But I can't make fun of the salesmen too much. They're not the only men trying to trick grieving women into doing something they normally wouldn't do. The real question is, how do these have reviews? Do they get a medium to come in and say, "I just love that new coffin smell. 5 stars." During the 18th century, people began to get a fear of being buried alive. Now we hope it happens, because that means we're in a Mr. Beast video. They began trying many things to try to quell that fear, such as the creation of waiting houses. Here, they kept the bodies for several days before burial to ensure that they were really dead. I guess the whole Lazarus situation started giving people hope. They even started tying strings around people's wrists where they could ring the bell if they ever came back to life. They probably got more false positives than pregnancy tests. In the end, they would only bury the people when they smelled dead. Crazy that they can do that, but Walmart can't. Me personally, I try to avoid coffins as much as possible. Not a big fan of spoilers. My Asian family, though, they're big fans of them. They're what I would call performative funeral goers. I went to my cousin's funeral after he killed himself, where they were trying to jump into the coffin saying, "Please, I can't live without you." He clearly felt the opposite of that. In conclusion, weird point to end the video on, I know, but what's the deal with necrophilia? I suppose one man's trash is another man's treasure. Hello, Outro Lunar here. Click here to check out my Twitch channel where I stream every weekend. Click here to check out the most recent video, and click over here to check out the recommended video. Okay, goodbye.